Earlier on, I spoke to Dr. Zeynu Ummer, team lead at the UNDP Africa Borderlands Center in Nairobi. I started by asking him how the worst drought in 40 years has affected pastoralist communities in Kenya, Somalia, and Ethiopia. Take a listen.
The research Africa Borderlands Center has conducted is mainly focused on East and West Africa, specifically on agro-pastoralists living in Africa borderlands. The complex wave of vulnerability arising from adverse environmental, socio-economic, and security conditions, rob the full potential of agro-pastoralists. So this is not different in the countries that you have mentioned, definitely Ethiopia and Kenya were the case studies countries for this research, and Somalia was not actually included in this research, but still, the context is similar. They are faced multiple vulnerabilities. They have the experience of adapting, devising strategies to adapt and develop resilience to overcome those multidimensional challenges the farmers and pastoralists facing.
And you talked about adapting strategies. What sort of policies and investments at a governance level are needed to tackle these challenges?
Well, actually, from our research, we have identified, our research report identified three important strategies, adaptation and resilience strategies for farmers and pastoralists living in the borderlands of Africa. The first one is mobility. Then the second one is family. And the third one is diversification, labor diversification, or income diversification, we call it. So investing on these three is actually critical in terms of building their resilience, enhancing the source of their resilience, and so that they can overcome the changing circumstances over a period of time. So policymakers and development actors are required to invest especially on the cross-border mobility, which is very important. They have to play a role. They have to have district policy intervention to invest on the cross-border mobility of farmers and pastoralists. They have to play a role in facilitating this cross-border mobility. Family tie in the borderland area, especially in the three regions, the three countries that you have mentioned, is very tight. So investing on the family tie also can really enhance the living condition of the communities living in these areas.
Now, the report makes the case that pastoralist communities in East and West Africa are often ignored. Why is that the case?
Well, actually, historical marginalization in the borderland is in Africa is very common because they are very far from the center. They are staying in the remote area in the center. Sometimes access to even development intervention is very challenging. So because of this, they face multiple vulnerability. So one of the key actually source of this multiple vulnerability is historical marginalization and lack of attention both at the policy and the program level. So I think this is very critical issue that needs to be really addressed because the potential of this community, the dynamic community, is very important. They can play a very significant role in terms of integrating Africa, in terms of facilitating the trade, in terms of creating a very huge cultural bond among African communities, and that can serve as a springboard for regional integration is